everyone! So I'm doing something new today, which is filming at nighttime because I have literally become a complete night owl and I'm going to bed at like 5 in the morning. So my day is basically only 3 hours before it gets dark again. That leaves a very little window to actually do some filming with the sunlight. Please forgive me, I have a light here, fancy lovely light that hopefully does some okay lighting. So today I thought it would be a really cool idea to just chill on my bed. I've got a cup of tea here and to just talk to you guys about some of the quotes and thoughts that I've heard throughout my life that have utterly changed me. I thought this would be a really cool video to do because I actually write these quotes down. I have this little mix. Put this down. I have basically like this sketchbook that I bought a while back, which I actually don't use to draw because I can't draw. I have to admit that to myself at some point. But I use it to write down some of my plans and some of my thoughts, and also where I keep some of what I call my beautiful thoughts, because these are not necessarily quotes that I have sourced from some intelligent person. These are things that I have just heard throughout life from maybe my parents or from a book or from some TED Talk or something like that has just like clicked in my brain and I wanted to remember it. So yeah, these are of course very personal to me and my struggles, but I do believe that I'm not the only person going through the things that I'm going through, so hopefully these quotes will resonate with you, at least some of them. It might just be nice to hear some nice positive affirming thoughts. I honestly do believe that positive thinking is not just who you are. It's like this habit that you have to keep up with. Each morning you have to like remind yourself, oh hey, we're gonna have a good day today. Hey, we're gonna make it through today. Hey, it's okay. Chill, self. At least for me, it's not like intuitive all the time. I do believe that like keeping your surroundings and what you read, what you consume in a more positive light through such things like quotes can really bring a lot of success and wisdom to your day and to your life and help you move forward and help you grow as a person. And it's really important to continue to work on yourself. Okay, I'm talking way too much. You guys did not come here for my blabbering or my ranting, so let's just get started. The first quote, which is on my wall as well, is "Do not dwell on trivialities." This is quite simple. The small things don't matter as much as we think they do. I always remember with anything that I worry about that my sort of nature is to over worry. So whatever anything is, it probably is not as big a deal as I am making it. Second quote is also on my wall. This is probably my second favorite quote, and it is, "Nothing human is foreign to me." I love this. I actually heard this on some type of Maya Angelou documentary and it seriously resonated with me. It might not make any sense. I will explain it. It basically refers to when you hear other people's stories or what other people go through, the premise is that you as a human can understand and can relate to anybody's struggles. I find that a lot of times we tend to be very judgmental and tend to look at somebody else's struggle and say, oh hey, I don't like that, makes no sense, like I wouldn't do that, or like wow, he or she's being so stupid, so irrational, whatever. But honestly, no, like no, we all are human and anybody's worst struggle I feel like we are capable of understanding. This is something that my dad has told me quite a few times and it is in my language. I'll just say that and then I'll translate it. He says to me, "Osmiech je chudo." What that means is that a smile is a miracle. And I never used to value, I guess, smiles and stuff like that. I didn't really think so much about that before, but now honestly, any human person who is smiling is beautiful. You know, you don't have to have anything or be anyone, you just have to smile. People will look at you and just see the light in your eyes. Yeah, I really love that quote, and I always remind myself in my darkest times that one smile can make a pretty big difference. This is a quote that I've listened to in one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite musicals called Rent. The quote goes, "You have to let go to know what is right." Sometimes in life we set so many rules for ourselves that they really stop us from growing, stop us from learning, being able to judge things correctly and understand others correctly. For this next one, I was watching an Ingrid Nilsson vlog and this was like on one of her walls or something and I really loved it. This quote goes, "Make your own way." Also on my wall. Quite simply is a quote reminding you that your path is different than anybody else's path. Right, so this next one is definitely my favorite quote. This quote I was first introduced to while watching The Little Prince, which if you don't know is a really popular like children's fable. And I was watching this when I was at the peak of my sort of panic attacks, anxiety experience back when I was in the 12th grade, and oh my god, sometimes you really hear what you need to hear at the most right of times, and this was that for me. I'm gonna read because I haven't memorized it here. "And now here is my very simple secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Whew, I don't know, something about this. Damn, it just reminds me that somehow everything is really intuitive. I don't even know how to explain it. I love this quote so much. I guess it just makes me feel like there's a sort of divinity to emotions, and that divinity can guide you to the right answers. The next quote I also was introduced through Maya Angelou documentary. I don't know if I'm actually referencing it right from what I've written down, but I've written down that it that made rivers and flies made me. This just reminds me of how we are not separate from nature, we are not superior to nature, and that we are ultimately interconnected with everything, and that our ideas of ourselves and our egos are purely fabrications of our mind, and that at the bottom of things, we are just matter. We are just like anything else that we've encountered, and we all come from the same source. And that is very, very beautiful. This next one I heard from a YouTuber who's called Happy and Healthy 96. She has this podcast called like A Beautiful Mess, and basically it revolves around the idea that you are just one big beautiful mess. I love this quote because it tells me that with all of my flaws and all of my imperfections, it is all just who I am, and it is all beautiful. I guess it's a sort of kind of self-acceptance kind of little line there. I was reading Looking for Alaska, and I love this book so much. God, yeah, but there's this one line from it that I had to write down because it was everything to me. And it says, "I go to seek a great perhaps. That's why I'm going. So I don't have to wait until I die to start seeking a great perhaps." Yeah, guys, we're gonna die one day. We have to live. We have to put every effort to give it our all every second of every day. Okay, so this video is getting kind of long, so I'm just gonna start reading off some of them without really explaining everything so much, if that's okay. There are many kinds of strength. Strength of the heart and strength of the mind. This is from a book that I don't even remember what it's called. I hope these stars don't get lost on this earth. This is from an Indian song, and it really just refers to children growing up, and that sometimes when we grow up, a lot gets taken away from us, and our dreams get kind of smushed by our anxieties and worries and struggles in life. But I guess it's our duty to try to always be whimsical and always hang on to that child who dreams like life is the most infinite thing ever. Be as swift as the wind, as silent as the forest, as unshakable as the mountain, and you can do anything, even take this branch from me. This is from a fantasy book. It's just such a whimsical quote. I really love it. Love liberates, it does not bind. Mary Angelou. Don't take yourself so seriously, from a YouTuber who's called Infinite Waters or Ralph Smart. This is such an infamous quote that I learned so many years ago that has utterly transformed my life, and it is a Carl Sagan quote. If you guys know me, then you know I'm literally obsessed and transformed and just fascinated by Carl Sagan. We are star stuff. We are star stuff, baby. We are all made up out of the remnants of dead stars. That's so humbling. Alright, so this one is actually from a bookmark that I got a few years ago, and I freaking use this bookmark so much, but only because of this quote. On it, it says, "Wherever you go, go with all of your heart." This one, I don't know where I got it from, but it says, "Be humble, be kind, be brave." This is from a theme song of Merlin, which is an amazing show that I highly recommend. You cannot choose your destiny, nor can you escape it. This reminds me that as humans, we have some type of greater purpose inside of us that we must discover and that we must follow. So Jason Silva is one of my absolute favorite YouTubers for making just such inspiring content, and one of the things from his videos that struck me like a freaking knife to my belly was him just talking, and he said that life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. I had always been dealing with this kind of like shyness that stopped me from living life fully, and hearing this changed me because it just kind of started to be etched into my heart, and I would carry that thought with me everywhere I went. And so anytime I was feeling like I didn't have enough courage, I would just say to myself, life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. These next two quotes are from a TED Talk that I recently watched about a guy who was just talking about the quotes in his life that changed him, and I was also inspired to make this video because of him. So as you can see, the world is just a revolution of inspiration being transferred from person to person. It's so cool. The quote is, "Every person is a revolution in a vessel. If your dreams don't scare you, then you aren't dreaming big enough." This reminds me that everybody in your life can surprise you, because we are all people of equal value, and even that person who you might think, oh hey, la 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 la, they might end up doing something that will blow your mind. Then the other quote from him: challenge your assumptions so you can find truth. Sometimes we sort of build a reality for ourselves inside our mind that we believe to be absolutely true, and that can be super dangerous because most of the time our reality is at least a little bit faulty. The best way we can learn is to challenge what we believe. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I of course will see you guys so soon. Bye bye.